Welcome back everybody to Hayes Tech ROM Reviews. I've got a new one for you. This is a ROM that is very new, and when I say new I mean it was just put out about a week ago, about a day ago public. I've known about it for quite some time, at least the development part of it, and have been keeping tabs on it, following it closely. The ROM is Colt OS. The developer for shamu is Nitin Chobbe. You guys probably know him from XDA. He's an outstanding developer, does a lot of work, has quite a few other ROMs out for several devices, not just the Nexus 6. But I did want to mention the head developer on that team, and his name is Rakesh Batra. And if I'm messing up his name, please forgive me for that. As you guys know, any of you that follow me know I am very bad with names. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and get into this. The few things I want to get out right away is that this ROM is LOS based. First thing right off the bat, it is not encrypting. I did have several conversations with Nitin about whether or not it encrypts. What do I need to flash? Do I need to flash the FED patch? Anything like that. And of course, he came back and said, nope, you're good to go. But I will tell you guys that I did flash the FED patch just to make sure. I'm running the supplied kernel, as you guys can see there. And the only thing that I did, other than what Nitin told me to do, was to flash the FED patch. I know, I just, every time I see LOS, I just kind of freak out a little bit, and I just want to make sure that I don't encrypt my device. So as you guys can see, this is Colt OS. It is for the Nexus 6. This is Android version 7.1.2. This is the Colt Nougat. Let me see, this was the 29th build, security patches for July 5th. Again, I said I am running the supplied kernel. It's working great. So far, battery level's been pretty good. As you guys can see in the upper right-hand corner, it does support the 3-minute mod, which, if you guys follow me at all, know that is probably my most used mod of any mods in Android, is the 3-minute battery mod. I love that. It lets you choose up to over 1,000 different battery icons. You can change size, colors, stuff like that. So, I mean, just good on the team for that. The outstanding work with that. SE Linux is enforcing. Now, I didn't try to use kernel auditor mod to see if I could change that over to permissive or anything, SE Linux is permissive. It's just everything's working in enforcing, and even my apps that normally need a permissive kernel are all working with this enforcing. As far as root goes, they recommend that you flash Magisk, and I did. I flashed the latest, which is I think 13.2. So that's what I'm running on this, and so far so good. Everything that needs to have root is getting root, and Magisk is working without any issues whatsoever. So we're going to go right into the custom features, and this ROM is packed with a bunch of custom features. I think you guys are going to be surprised with how many there are, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. First up is the status bar. You guys can see you can change your carrier label if you want, and what's nice about that, you can also color it. Now, it doesn't have a carrier icon like a logo, like some of the other ROMs, but I'm saying give it a little time. They're probably going to come up with their own little logo to throw up there. But for right now, I just have my custom carrier label. I just made it what I want. It's custom. And I put Colt OS, and I did color it with a color of my choice, which is another really cool option. By the way, guys, this is going to be a longer than normal video. There are a lot of options on here, kind of like Resurrection Remix. And when there are a lot of options in a ROM, I don't like to pass over any of them. So if you don't like long videos, you probably want to skip to a different one. You do have Network traffic, if you guys want to throw that on to see your incoming, outgoing data, it's a good tool to use. That's where you go for that. Next up is going to be the battery bar. I am running with a battery bar. They give you the option to color it any way you want, which is another awesome feature. You can do the blend color if you want. If you click that on blend, it's, there's a certain way that you use it, but when you use the blend feature, it kind of blends it from your beginning color to your end color. And I use just custom colors, but again, guys, you can use whatever you want. They do have the alignment thickness. I'm running at 2 dp right now, and the only reason why I'm running 2 dp as opposed to 1 is because of the screen protector I have on. My glass screen protector actually has a black outline, and I didn't get it perfect when I put it on, so it covers about 1 dp of my upper in my status bar, so I can't see that. So I have to make my battery bar just a little bigger so I can see it. Next up is going to be your battery style. Now this is pretty cool. If you guys aren't running the 3-minute mod, they give you a lot of other options to choose from. Those options, like the big circle and the gauge is really cool. If you click on gauge, now as you can see, it just threw it up there. It gives you kind of like a gasoline gauge, that you're used to seeing in your car, or like a tack. So that's pretty cool. I like the fact that they threw that in there. It's just one more little custom touch that kind of just puts it over the top. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that so I don't crowd up my status bar too much. Then you have your status bar icons. Now this is where you can add or remove anything that you want to either show or not show in your status bar. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of cast. That'll clean up some. I do want my hotspot. Get rid of that for now. I'm just going to shut a lot of these off for now to clean up the status bar. Volume control, we're going to leave that off. Let's go that. And for some reason, it's showing volt, and I don't have volt, but it's showing it's there. It did show up as soon as I flashed the ROM. Volt was right on. If it's working for me, that's awesome. I've never used volt before. It just never worked for this device and for my carrier, which is Verizon, and in the area that I'm at. I'm not familiar with how to use it, so I can't really test it. I'll tell you what, guys, I'll dig into that a little bit more and I'll test it. Who knows, maybe it's actually working for my device. But let's see, what's up next? We have the clock. They give you right, left, center. They also give you AM, PM, date, style, format, position. You can change the font to however you want it to look. The other feature that I really, really like about it is the fact that you can make it any size you want. You can go up to 18, make it really huge if you want. I kind of like 16 dp with the way the ROM flashes. The DPI settings on it are perfect, so 16 dp actually works great. It's just big enough that I can see it really quickly, and it doesn't overcrowd it, to the point where a lot of the other things I have in my status bar are just cluttering it completely up. So good on them for that. That's one feature I think should be in every ROM. Full screen alarm. You have your quick pull down. It comes stock or as flashed off. You can put it. You can leave it in the off position or run right or left. Let me see. You have your brightness control, show roaming indicator, which I don't even know why I have that on. I don't have roaming. Mine's my plan is good throughout the whole country. Show notification count. Then you have your double tap to sleep if you want to use that. Swipe to the right brings up the quick settings. It does come with custom header images. Right now I am running Colt OS headers. But again, this is just like any of the other ROMs out there that have the header image in it. If you download any of the packages from the Play Store, if you go to your header image pack, they're going to show up in here. So you can run anything as long as it is a header pack and it's compatible with the Nougat header pack system. So just so you guys know that. But I just figured since this was Colt OS, I would just run with their header pack. So far, it's pretty cool. I haven't really noticed much of a change in it. Of course, that could just be me. And I will tell you guys, I've been really using a lot I've been using this ROM a lot. I wanted to make sure that before I got it out to you guys, that if I found any bugs in it or anything that wasn't working, that I could let you know about it. So far, I haven't found anything that wasn't working. You do have your header pack shadow image. Basically, it darkens up or lightens up your header. Helps you for, like, if you're in bright sunlight, stuff like that. It makes it show a little better. So you guys can set that however you like. I normally run it with no shadow whatsoever. It kind of makes it as bright as it can be. Next up is the Omni Jaws. Basically, that's your weather settings. You go in here, you pick your weather, how you want it to show. So those would be your settings. You have your condition icon pack. I'm going with the lock clock color, which is basically the lock screen color. Vibrate on touch. Then you have your quick settings, small tiles. I'm running with the full amount, which is 7. Rows. They have the rows and in both portrait and landscape first. Normally we see this with columns first, then rows. I kind of got confused on that at first, but then I got it. I pulled my head out of my ass and figured it out. So I'm running with 5 columns, or 5 rows and 3 columns. I can fit everything on it that I want. Also, as you noticed, it does not have the Nougat animation. This is really cool because this ROM allows you to turn those animations off, and it actually works. I've seen a lot of ROMs out there with that switch that you can turn the animations off, and it doesn't do anything. The animation's still there. I don't like that animation. You have your settings shortcut, then edit icon if you want it to show or not in your header. You have your advanced quick settings, easy toggle, multi-user switch, and then your expanded indicator. Now, if we swipe to the right, that's going to bring up, man, I can't even talk. It's going to bring up the blur personalizations. This is another feature that I think all ROMs should have. I just love the blur features. Basically, what that means is when you pull down your quick settings, everything in the background blurs. You can adjust that to whatever intensity of blur that you want by simply, going into settings here and going and changing your blur scale and your blur radius. I like it the way it is as flashed, so I leave it alone. Now you can set or have blur in your quick settings. Well, the first one is for your status bar background. Second one, of course, is for your quick settings background. And then the last one is for your recent apps. So if I click on recents, I am in full screen, so you're not going to see it much, but you notice status bar is blurred out. It just gives it a little cleaner look. It gives or posts more of your attention to the recents panel. So it's a nice feature. I'm really glad that they put it in this ROM. Again, that's a feature I wish all ROMs had in it. Those are features that I really, really like. Swipe to the right brings up buttons. You do have end call by hitting the power button, which I don't use anymore. I've found where sometimes the screen would go off and I'd hit the power button to get the screen to come back on, and it would hang up the phone. So I don't use it. I haven't tested it just because I don't use it. It might be working. So you guys might want to go ahead and use it if you're used to it. You have your press power button twice for the camera, and that is working. I did try it. By the way, guys, I'm not going to show it on here, but I did test the camera. I've tested both the camera function and the video, and they both work, and they work great. It does come with the, I think it's CM's camera. I don't want to say that for sure, but what I will say is it's not the Google camera. I like Google camera for this, so I did download Google's camera. That's the one that I'm using, but I did test the one that comes with the ROM. It functions 100%. Let's see. Show arrow keys while typing. You have your long press power button for the torch on the lock screen. You have your automatically turn off torch, and they do give you a little bit of time limit with that. This is another feature I like. I like the fact that if I forget it, it's going to turn it off after a certain time. So that's pretty cool. I am glad that they threw that in there. Next up is going to be your wake device as far as your volume buttons go. If you guys want your volume buttons to wake your phone up, just like your home button or your power button, go ahead and click that on. Control playback, control ringtone volume. You have your keyboard cursor control, and then you can reorient, swap your volume buttons when the screen's in rotated. So instead of having your buttons, if you rotate your screen to landscape, instead of having them up on the side, on the right hand side, I guess would be, it would rotate them down to the bottom or vice versa. So that's what that's for. We're going to swipe to the right. That's going to bring up the recent apps. You have your immersive recents. It comes set at default by default. I'm running full screen. I like the full screen effect, so that's what I run with. You can have the clear all fab. You click that on. They give you the 6 positions. I go with bottom left. And then it comes flashed with the grid style recents off. I've noticed a lot of custom ROMs lately come with that turned on. I'm very used to that running my Huawei devices, but I don't like it. I'm used to it because I have Huawei's that are not rooted or anything, so I'm used to using it, but I don't like it. I'd rather have that marshmallow or, not marshmallow, the lollipop or nougat style Rolodex. That's the way I like it. So I'm glad they kind of went with that style as flashed. So good on them for that. You do have your lock tasks and then your show memory bar, which is another feature, again, that I love. I like having that memory bar. Whenever you hit your recents, you notice up top, I have quite a bit of memory free. That's because, again, this is a Nexus 6, and RAM management on Nexus 6, if you get the right ROM and kernel, is awesome. Lock screens up next. You have your media cover art, enable power menu, quick settings. If you want all this stuff to show or none at all, you can just click them all off. They do have the weather settings, which are right here. You have your weather display, condition, and then of course they have OmniJaws again. A little redundant, but again, I've said this in the past. It doesn't hurt to have a setting in a couple places. It just makes it easier to get to when there's more than one place to get to it. So that's I don't think that's a bad thing. And then you have your double tap to sleep anywhere all the way at the bottom. If you guys use that feature, just click it on. You'll be good to go. Swipe to the right brings up the power menu. Now, if I only had one ding, and I don't even like to say the word ding, but if I had one thing that is not one of my favorites in this ROM, it would be the power menu. And you guys, by watching my videos in the past, know that I use my power menu for everything. I use it before I use my quick settings. I just like a lot of features there, but I do understand this is LOS based. LOS-based ROMs do not come with a lot of power options in the power button. It's just the way it is. Yes, they could probably do it. I'm not a developer. I don't know what kind of hassle will go into that, but that's what we have our quick settings for. So it's good. I like the fact that the screenshot's in there. I like the airplane mode in there, and I like the sound panel and the restart menu. Those are the biggest ones that we all use, and they're in there. So it's good to go. Swipe to the right brings up animations. You do have your system animations. If you go down through there, these are all of your system animations. I don't use any of them, but you guys know that the only one I use is, and I can't even think of the name of it right now, but yeah, it's not here. But these are the animations that it comes with. Toast animations, list view. You have your quick tile animations. I have mine on rotate and on fast. I do use linear as my interpolar. Let's see, they have the fancy, here's where you can shut off the animations to the drop down. Right now I have it off. If I click that on and I pull down, you'll notice I get that Nougat animation. If you click that off, it actually works. It shuts it off, and I like that. Last but not least, all the way at the bottom, you can click that and it will disable all of your animations. Swipe to the right brings up Colt continues. You have your dashboard options. You can change the columns up in your dashboard, both in portrait and landscape. It comes as flashed as 1 for your portrait and 2 on landscape. I only like 1 column, whether it's portrait or landscape, so I just slid that down to 1. You guys can set that up however you want. I do also turn my suggestions off. I think they're a pain in the butt. I don't need the phone telling me what it thinks I should be doing, so I just shut it off. But you guys can leave that on. Again, that's what Android's about. It's about custom features and your choice. Let's see. Swipe the screen. Screenshot. 3-finger screenshot. I love that. I'm glad they put that in this ROM. Yes, I can hit power button and volume down and take a screenshot. But it's so much easier to just swipe 3 fingers down and take a screenshot just like that than fumbling for buttons in the dark. It's just great. I love that feature. Then you have your 4G icon. You can change that around if you don't want LTE shown and you want 4G as opposed to LTE. Click that on and that'll change that up. Last but not least is going to be about Colt OS. They do have the changelog up here. You can click on that. That'll show all the changes that took place from when they first started it up till now. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it'll show upcoming. Maybe not. I don't know. But that's going to give you an idea of what was added, what was changed, what they pulled out. That'll be in your changelog. They do have a feature on here called Share Colt OS, which is pretty cool too. Click on that. It'll ask you where you want to share it at. Pick one of your, one of your share points and go, and you can spread the ROM out. And I highly recommend you guys use it because this is a pretty cool ROM. They do have the link to GitHub. If you guys are familiar with GitHub, it's to people who build custom ROMs. This is where you do all your building at. This is where you're going to be pulling your repos from, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. They have the link there. You guys can follow them. You can see when things are added, what's getting pulled, what changes are made. You can follow it if you want. If you build your own like I do, you can follow them. Who knows? Maybe pull some of their repos if they don't mind. Ask them and incorporate them into your ROMs. It's hard to say. Google Plus community. Highly suggest you guys go to the Google Plus community for Colt OS. Yes. And join. I think you guys are going to like it. It's pretty cool. They do show devices, builds, things like that. I will try to put the link in the description, but again, if you guys install this ROM, it's going to be right there. But I will try to put the link in the description. I normally do anyways. And then, of course, you have your Colt OS devices and maintainers. This is going to be who does all the maintaining for all the different devices. As you guys can see, these are the devices right now. Tomato, lettuce, black, Mako, Angler. It's not showing Shamu on here, but Nitin Chobbe's doing the Shamu, so it's covered. They do have the OnePlus 2. It's just pretty cool, and of course, my guess is that it's just going to expand from there. So those are the custom features for Colt OS. Quickly, as I normally do, we're going to hit display. There's a feature in here I really want you guys to see. It's their theme. Now, when I say that, it's like the old style, what we were used to back in, say, Jelly Bean and Kit Kat, where if you hit on Colt Dark, it is going to make it dark. This is what I like. I was actually going to run with this because it's part of the ROM, but there it is. Okay, yeah, it has to do a System UI restart. I was going to run with this because it is part of the ROM, but I decided not to because, I don't know, because that's not the way it's flashed. But I like it. This is the way I normally run it, just like this. But I will tell you guys right now, if you want to theme it, and the theme kind of has a clear or a dark background, or a clear or a white background, you're going to want to go with either automatic or light, because it will screw with your theme for OMS. And yes, Substratum works great on this. I was actually going to run with a theme, and then I just decided this time I wouldn't. I was running Sprite, and it looks great. It works very good on this. I did have one fault, but it's not the ROM's fault. When I flashed Sprite, even on some other ROMs that I'm running, it had the same fault. So it is what it is. Let's see. Nothing really out of the ordinary under display other than that. I did want to show you guys that. You do have your sound settings. These are the sound settings. They do give you the link ringtone and notification volumes if you guys want to do that, or unlink them because it comes flashed linked. I like them unlinked, so it's a cool feature to have. These are the other sounds. Quickly, I'm going to take a drink. That is it for sounds. I'm going to get down here to security quickly, let you guys see what's in security. As you guys can see, I am not encrypted. It says encrypt phone underneath encryption. That means I'm not encrypted. Now, if I would have been encrypted, it would have said encrypted right there. So, again, like I said, all I did was flash the FED patch, and that was it. I didn't flash anything else. And from what I understand, you don't even have to flash that. Make sure you have your unknown sources ticked on. And that's about it. I will show the developer options quickly, let you guys see them. Nothing really major in here. It is LOS based, so it's going to have the advanced restart in your, right here. So this is where you're going to find that. OEM unlocking, make sure that is on always. You do have your Android debugging. It came unchecked by default. Now I did turn it on. I was passing safety net. Now I'm wondering, since I turned that on, I'll do it real quick before we leave to see if it passes safety net, because you might have to have that unchecked in order to pass safety net. If you guys care about that, me, I don't care about it. I feel if you're running a custom ROM, you shouldn't care about that, but that's just me and the way I think. I get it, guys. I know some of you out there like to have your custom ROMs and you don't want root. I get it. That's not me. It does come animations all set at 1. I set mine at 0.5 on all of them. I didn't notice any lag or anything. Of course, this is the Nexus 6. The Nexus 6 just doesn't lag. You have your kill app back button all the way at the bottom. If you guys want to run it, that's where you go for that. And that is it, guys. That is Colt OS. Come on, I want to get that animation up again. There we go. There it is. It's pretty cool how they have that. I like their animations on that. Now, the launcher that it comes with, it's called Lawn Chair. Yes, like a lawn chair that you sit in. Lawn Chair Launcher. So basically what it is, it's like Nougat's launcher. It's pretty cool. Everything works. You slide up to get to all your apps. Yes, I have a lot more apps than what comes with it. It doesn't. I'll tell you guys right now. It does not come with a file explorer. No, it does come with a file explorer. It doesn't come with a file or a browser. So you're gonna want to at least install a browser. If you don't want to install any Google things, then put your browser of choice on there. But I have to have a browser. I went to do a quick search on an email I got, and nothing came up. And the first thing that popped in my mind was, I'll bet you it doesn't have a browser, and it didn't. So all I did was install Chrome from the Play Store, and everything is working great. Yeah, I have a lot of other icons in here. Most of them are, most of the icons you see here are from custom icon packs. So, because you guys know I run Nova Launcher. That's my go-to launcher. But I figured I would show this launcher because that's what comes with the ROM as flashed. I really have nothing at all bad to say about the ROM. I've had no problems with it, no random reboots. I did have some reboots installing certain themes, but that is not ROM related. That is more theme related and substratum related, and not the custom ROM related. So, that's one of the reasons I don't say that that's an issue, because it's not. It only happened when I was applying a theme. Other than that, Bluetooth's working. I told you guys camera's working. Wi-Fi, data is all working. Data is working really good, by the way. And it appears that Volt is also working. So, like I said, I'm going to test it. I'll let you guys know if it works the way it's supposed to after I read up on it to see how to even use Volt. I will test it. I'll put it in the description, or I'll just comment and let you guys know how it works. Or if you guys try it out and post in the comments below so other people know. Because again, I'm pretty sure that my package does not support Volt in any way, shape, or form. So, but who knows? All right, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. I want to thank every one of my subscribers. You guys are awesome. You guys are the only reason I do what I do. I did tell you I wasn't going to be doing any more ROM reviews, but I also told you that if something new came up that was different from everything else, I would do a review on it. And this is definitely different. So again, I do appreciate y'all, and I will see you on the next one.